Please note, all scenes in this video are sample procedures based on the PIDAC environmental cleaning best practices. However, your procedures may vary according to the tools, equipment, and cleaning products being used within your facility. Also, the use of any logos and products seen in this video is not intended as an endorsement.
Notes. 1. If using two separate products for cleaning and for disinfection, repeat steps 1 to 11 with disinfectant after completing step 11, and repeat steps A to K with disinfectant after completing step K. 2. If this patient is on contact precautions for C. difficile, room must be cleaned twice per day. Before cleaning a contact precautions room, gather all the materials you will require, including an adequate supply of clean cloths, fresh cleaning solution, and hospital-grade disinfectant, which may be combined into one product. Your supervisor will let you know if two products are required. Also have a dust mop, wet mop, and bucket or a microfiber mop. It is important to note that the bucket and mop should be dedicated to each VRE and C. difficile room and used only for that room until contact precautions are discontinued. Clean hands with alcohol-based hand rub. If your hands are visibly soiled, you must use soap and water to clean them. Put on gloves and gown before entering the room. Remove soiled linen from the floor and place in linen bag. Remove soiled linen if bag is 3/4 full. Do not overfill. Remove debris from the floor and place in the waste receptacle. Remove the waste, handling plastic bags from the top, but do not compress bags with your hands. Be alert for needles and other sharp objects, and only pick up these objects using a mechanical device. Place the objects into a sharps container and report the incident to a supervisor. Remove your gloves and discard them, and clean your hands with alcohol-based hand rub. If your hands are visibly soiled, you must use soap and water to clean them. Then put on fresh gloves. When beginning the cleaning procedure, use a fresh cloth saturated with cleaning solution disinfectant. Clean with only one cloth at a time. When finished one area, set the soiled cloth aside for laundering and use a fresh cloth to continue. If a bucket is used, do not double dip cloths. Also, do not shake the cloths. Change the cleaning cloth when it is no longer saturated with solution and after cleaning heavily soiled areas. Place the soiled cloths in a designated container or bag for laundering. If there is more than one patient resident bed space in the room, use fresh cloths for each and complete the cleaning in each bed space before moving to the next. When working from the least soiled areas, or low touch, to the most soiled areas, or high touch, and from high surfaces to low surfaces, complete the following steps. 1. Clean doors, door handles, push plate, and touched areas of the frame. 2. Check walls for visible soiling and clean if required. 3. Clean light switches and thermostats. 4. Clean wall-mounted items such as the alcohol-based hand rub dispenser, the glove box holder, the top of the suction bottle, the intercom, and blood pressure gauge. 5. If Environmental Services is responsible for checking and replacing the sharps containers, check sharps container and change when sharps reach the fill line. Clean sides and bottom of the sharps container, but do not dust the top of the sharps container. 6. Check and remove fingerprints and soil from low-level interior glass partitions, glass door panels, mirrors, and windows with glass cleaner. 7. Check privacy curtains for visible soiling and replace them if required. 8. When cleaning all furnishings and horizontal surfaces in the room, include chairs, windowsill, television, telephone, night table, and other tables or desks, support railings, ledges, or shelves. Lift items to clean the tables, and pay particular attention to high-touch surfaces. 9. Clean patient-resident equipment that is not cleaned by nursing staff, such as IV poles, walkers, or wheelchairs. 10. Clean bed rails, bed controls, call bell, and cord. 11. If there is a sink in the room, clean inside and outside of the sink, sink faucets, and mirror. Wipe plumbing under the sink. Apply disinfectant to interior of the sink, ensuring sufficient contact time with the disinfectant. Then rinse the sink and sink fixtures and wipe dry. Begin the bathroom cleaning procedure by using a fresh cloth saturated with cleaning solution disinfectant. A. Clean the door, door handles, push plate, and touched areas of the frame. B. Check walls for visible soiling and clean if required. C. Clean the light switch. D. Clean chrome wall attachments. E. Clean all wall-mounted dispensers and frames. F. Check and remove fingerprints and soil from the mirror with glass cleaner. G. Clean the call bell and cord. H. Clean support railings, ledges, and shelves. I. Apply toilet bowl disinfectant to the toilet bowl and allow it to remain while cleaning the sink and shower tub to ensure sufficient contact time with the disinfectant. J. When cleaning the sink, clean all surfaces around the sink, vanity, or countertop. Clean inside and outside of the sink, sink faucets, and the mirror. K. Wipe plumbing under the sink. Apply disinfectant to the interior of the sink, ensuring sufficient contact time with disinfectant. Rinse the sink and sink fixtures and wipe dry. When cleaning the shower tub area, clean inside and outside the area. Clean faucets, walls, and railing, scrubbing as required to remove soap scum. Inspect grout for mold and apply disinfectant to interior surfaces of the shower tub, including soap dish, faucets, and shower head. Make sure that there is enough contact time for the disinfectant. Rinse the shower tub and fixtures and wipe dry. Inspect and replace shower curtains monthly and as required. Finish cleaning the toilet. Clean the toilet handle. Clean all exterior surfaces of the toilet. Clean underside of the flush rim. Clean the toilet bowl and flush the toilet. Once this is done, carefully remove gloves and clean hands with alcohol-based hand rub. If your hands are visibly soiled, you must use soap and water to clean them. Put on fresh gloves. Replenish paper towels, toilet paper, and waste bag as required. Also replace empty soap, lotion, and alcohol-based hand rub containers with fresh supplies as required, but do not top up liquid containers. When dry mopping the floor, start at the back of the room and work towards the door. You must keep the dust mop on the floor at all times once you've started, and use the swivel motion of the frame and wrist to change direction. Take your time to minimize any turbulence to prevent the dispersion of dust. Then carefully dispose of debris, being careful not to stir up dust. Do not shake the mop. Remove the mop head for laundering. When wet mopping the floor, please note that disinfectant is not required for the floors. If you are using a loop mop and bucket, place a wet floor caution sign outside of room or area being mopped. Immerse the mop in cleaning solution and wring it out. Start at the back of the room and work towards the door. Push the mop around baseboards first and pay special attention to removing soil from corners without splashing the walls. Turn the mop head over every 5 or 6 strokes and rinse the ring mop if the area is greater than 3 meters by 3 meters or 9 feet by 9 feet. Repeat the procedure until the entire floor is done and remove the mop head for laundering. Empty and rinse the bucket. If you are using a microfiber mop, Fill the plastic basin with cleaning solution. Place microfiber pads to soak in the basin. Take a clean pad from the basin, wring it out, and attach it to the mop head using Velcro strips. Place the wet floor caution sign outside of the room or area being mopped. Start at the back of the room and work towards the door. Follow facility procedures. Remove the microfiber mop pad when soiled and when finished cleaning the bathroom, and set aside for laundering. Send the soiled microfiber pads for laundering at the end of the day. Gather all the cleaning materials and leave the bathroom. Remove your gloves and clean hands with alcohol-based hand rub. If your hands are visibly soiled, you must use soap and water to clean them. Put on fresh gloves and replenish paper towels, linen bag, and waste bag as required, but do not overstock the room. Replace empty soap, lotion, and alcohol-based hand rub containers with fresh supplies as required, but do not top up liquid containers. If room is carpeted, vacuum the carpet using a vacuum fitted with a HEPA filter. If the room is not carpeted, dry mop the floor. Start at the back of the room and work towards the door. Do not lift the dust mop off the floor once you have started. Use the swivel motion of the frame and wrist to change direction. Take your time and minimize any turbulence to prevent dispersion of dust. Move the furniture and replace it after dust mopping, including under and behind the bed. Carefully dispose of debris, being careful not to stir up dust. Do not shake the mop. If the room is not carpeted, wet mop the floor. Disinfectant is not required for the floors. If you're using a loop mop, place the wet floor caution sign outside of the room or area being mopped. Immerse the mop in cleaning solution and wring it out. Start at the back of the room and work towards the door. Push the mop around the baseboards first, paying particular attention to removing soil from the corners. Avoid splashing walls or furniture. In open areas, use a figure-8 stroke, overlapping each stroke. Turn the mop head over every 5 or 6 strokes. Mop a 3 meter by 3 meter area, or 9 feet by 9 feet. Then rinse and wring the mop. Repeat until the entire floor is done. Remove the mop head for laundering. If you are using a microfiber mop, then fill the plastic basin with cleaning solution and place microfiber pads to soak in the basin. Take a clean pad from the basin, wring it out, and attach it to the mop head using Velcro strips. Place the wet floor caution sign outside of the room or area being mopped. Start at the back of the room and work towards the door. Remove the pad when soiled and when finished cleaning the room, and set aside for laundering. Send soiled microfiber pads for laundering at the end of the day. Remove your gloves. Remove the gown carefully to avoid contamination of clothing or skin. When taking the gown off, untie the strings first, starting at the neckties. Pull the outer contaminated side of the gown forward and turn inward. Roll the gown off your arms into a bundle. It should now be inside out. Discard the gown immediately into a soiled linen bag or waste container in a manner that minimizes air disturbance. In other words, don't toss it in the bag. Clean your hands with alcohol-based hand rub. If your hands are visibly soiled, you must use soap and water to clean them. Gather cleaning materials and leave the room. After cleaning, report mold and cracked, leaking, or damaged areas for repair. Tools used for cleaning and disinfecting must be cleaned and dried between uses, including mop heads and cloths. Launder mop heads daily, and all washed mop heads must be dried thoroughly before reuse. Clean housekeeping cart and carts used to transport waste daily.